Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Patholkas, and this is Woo Assassins, Season 1, Episodes 6 through 10. Welcome, everybody, or at least the three of you that are here. um, excuse me. I'm going to get a little business out of the way first. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. You know who you are. You're that one person who keeps doing it. And give me some constructive criticism. And if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell. If you've already hit the bell, don't hit it again. You can go to the bell settings again, as little or as many notifications as you want. Also, you can see my whole schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. I have my schedule up there. It also mirrors over on my Facebook page as well. Also, I put a whole bunch of news up on the Facebook page. So if you still do the Facebook stuff, it's up there as well. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers as of yet. So, with that said, I got the Joes here tonight. Thank you, Joes. So, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil these episodes. If you have not seen them, go and watch them. Come on back. This will be a video you can watch down below, or you can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. Yeah. So, where we last left off was Uncle Six telling Kai that they can, deal with this a different way other than violence. And his way of dealing with this is he found out that he can have the fire woo removed from him as long as he drinks some certain kind of poison that is made from, it's a mixture of the blood of the people that he hurt, that survived, I should say, that are dripped onto various poisonous animals. And then those poisonous animals eat each other until there's one animal left, which is the snake. And the snake is milked of its venom, which is black. And he's supposed to drink this down, and it is supposed to come out of him. It's a very dangerous spell. As Jing Jing tells Kai, it hasn't worked before. So, of course, this is going to be the first time that it actually works. So they do it to Uncle Six, and lo and behold, it comes out of him. And it's kind of funny because, as they're watching this, they're watching over him too. And Tommy, who of course is a junkie, is watching Uncle Six going through this and detoxing. And he's detoxing as well from heroin, trying to go cold turkey, and seeing all this shit that's happening to Uncle Six, the worst of him, essentially. Actually, Tommy gets burned, quite literally, on the wrist because Uncle Six grabs him while chained to a chair and burns him. But yeah, it actually comes out of him, and the tortoise shell reappears, the piece of the tortoise shell with the fire woo on it. And of course, he locks it away. Kai locks it away and tells Christine, the cop, to take it and not to touch it. He puts it in a to-go container, a Chinese food to-go container. And he is going to go with, he's actually got the coordinates from Alec McCullough to go and find the Earth Woo. And the Earth Woo is played by someone that we actually know from Swamp Thing. Yeah. And and I can't remember his name offhand right now. I'm actually looking through the credits as I'm doing this. And yeah, of course, they don't have him right up there in the credits because why not? Why would that be easy? But yeah. So the Earth Woo is kind of creepy. He is actually a professor, a former professor that is an ecologist, and he's gone a little too far off the reservation at this point. He's been kidnapping girls out in the forest and then questioning them, trying to get them to find out if they have the same ideology that he has, because he is dying. He is turning into stone. And yeah, it's pretty bad, actually. And so Uncle Six is going to help Kai go out there and kill this guy. Now remember, Kai still hasn't killed anybody. Kevin Durand, thank you, Pen Farm Girl. And yeah, Kai still hasn't killed anybody. He doesn't want to kill anybody because that was the reason why they took the Fire Wu out of Uncle Six. And Uncle Six is in pretty bad shape because he has the Fire Wu in him all this time. He's never been cold. So now he's cold all the time. He's always wearing a blanket. He's actually wearing a slanket for most of the episode. And there's actually a funny little scene. They're going up to Oregon, and they do a little road trip. They go up to Oregon, and they're also being followed, by the way. That's the other thing too, is they're being followed by Lu Jian, who really wants Uncle Six killed. He wanted him to die. Basically, he was trying to get Kai to kill him, and Kai's like, no, he's my father, adopted father, just so you know. And Kai didn't want to kill him, of course. Kai doesn't want to kill. So they were able to get the Wu out of him, but they're going up to Oregon on this road trip, and Lu Jian is following them. So they end up stopping in this little hillbilly truck stop, if you will. And it was kind of funny. It was, so it's the typical racist scene, you know, where you've got two Asian people in a redneck setting. So, and of course the rednecks come over to the waitress first of all comes over and they just order breakfast, and then she goes, well, you know what, we got some rice that we can fry up in the back, and I'm sure we can get you some chicken too. And Uncle Six is like, no, that's fine, I'm happy with what we've got, pancakes, eggs, all that stuff. And the waitress is like, jeez, I was just trying to be nice, you don't have to be rude. And he calls her back over and gives her a little history lesson on Asians in the United States. And he's actually right with everything that he's saying. I mean, he wasn't being mean. He was being a little bit of a dick, but considering what she said to him, she was being more of a dick to him than he was to her. And he kind of said it in a nice way of like, Asians have been here just as long and they have been more discriminated against than what you're seeing there. And I mean, you had the Asian Exclusion Act that was up until the it was a good part of the 20th century. Let's just say that. And there were laws on the books that were actually keeping Chinese Americans out of the United States, as well as other Asian Americans as well. Not the best time in the U.S. history, of course. And they did it in the right way. I mean, actually, it was probably one of the best scenes I've seen on calling out racism without being preachy about it. They did a really good job of it. And of course, it ends up in a fight scene because the other rednecks that are in the cafe take offense to him giving a history lesson to the waitress, and they come over to kick the Asian guy's ass. And yeah, a fight scene ensues. So there you go. So we see that the Earth Wu, Kevin Durand's character, actually is killing people by turning them to stone. The girl he's asking these questions to, she finally makes it to the last question. She's not worthy. He lets her go. And we saw that her boyfriend earlier had come looking for her out in this cabin out in the woods. And, Kevin Durand's character is like, no, she's not here, kind of thing. We don't know what happened to him. But then we see her she's leaving, and she starts running, and he puts his hand down on the ground. And we see the earth kind of like going up after her, and she trips and falls, and she starts turning to stone. And she's looking over, and she sees the stone, broken stone statue of her boyfriend, who has fallen as well. And when they pan back, you see all these people that have turned to stone that have fallen around as well. Like Medusa, exactly, Joe Greer. So kind of frightening. So Kai, of course, comes in, and long story short, he kills Kevin Durand's character and gets the Wu out of him. So the other thing that's kind of bothering me about this whole series is it's called Wu Assassins, plural, but they keep referring to Kai as the Wu Assassin because he is the Wu Assassin. Yet he's got 1,000 monks inside of him. You can insert whatever pun you want to on that one. And then he also has his friends that are helping him. So are they all the Wu Assassins, or is it referring to the monks inside of him being the Wu Assassins? I don't understand the titling of it. That was the only thing that kind of bothered me as I'm sitting here thinking about it. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I know I'm overthinking it most likely, but that was one of the things that went through my mind as I was watching this. I'm like, okay, are they all the Wu Assassins? Is he just the Wu Assassin? Is it the monks that are the Wu Assassins? Oh, give me a little sign here. And again, it's just that some of the writing wasn't tightened up on some things. And it happens throughout this series. You know what I mean? Yeah. So after Kai gets his first little taste of bloodlust, he pretty much starts going on a killing rampage. So we meet the Water Wu as well, who is played by Summer Glau. And Summer Glau, I was kind of wondering what happened to her. I've actually voiced this on my channel a couple of times, saying I wonder what happened to her. This is what happened to her. She is playing the Water Wu, and she has a very small little characterization. I was actually surprised. Penn, I don't know about you. Yeah, it just was kind of a weird thing seeing her, and I was like, okay, all right. I didn't expect to see her here, but sure, all right. And we also have the Metal Wu. The Metal Wu, we find out, is able to jump bodies. And by taking over people's iron in their body, and then he can enter them, he has these two little metal balls that he can go into people. So also, at one point, Jenny ends up getting the Fire Wu. Because it's going to be handed off to McCullough, and she grabs it and ends up getting the Fire Wu in her, and he, of course, kidnaps her. The metal balls were supposed to be his body, I guess, is what was going on. I didn't understand that either, Pen Farm Girl. Yeah, there were some things that are in there, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? It's some of the stuff wasn't making any sense, and somebody needed to flesh out a little bit more things in the story writing. They really did. But again, so it didn't detract from it. It just raised kind of a question like, what the fuck was that? Why? Okay, never mind. I'm just going to keep going on with it. And I mean, it's not a bad series. It's good. It's kind of like, it's a TV show series is really what this is, but it's got a little bit more, ass kickery, and it's got some blood to it as well. Yeah, the short-lived Cape series needed to be short-lived. It was pretty bad. But yeah, Sarah Connor Chronicles was awesome that she was in. I agree with you, Joe Greer. And yes, Pen Farm Girl, you're right. I think this is the first time I've seen her since Arrow as well. Summer Glau. So at one point we have the Metal Wu ends up infecting now I just can't remember her name all of a sudden. Christine's a boss. So we have there's some really weird shit that's going on too at this point. So Zan does not she thinks that Uncle Six now has gone soft and that he needs to actually lead he needs to lead the gang and be strong for the gang, and he's not strong anymore. And so she wants to take over. And he tells her there's never been a woman in power, and no one's going to accept her as this. And she disagrees, of course, and ends up working with McCullough in order to get this power. And she goes into the police station and starts killing police officers and ends up... we also end up having the Metal Wu as well, his inside one of Christine's co-workers, another detective, and she ends up infecting her boss, Christine's boss, and then of course he ends up infecting Christine, and so McCullough ends up having both Christine and Jenny as hostages, if you will, at this point. And he also has them as woos as well. Yeah. Did you watch The Night Comes With Us with a... No, I did not, Joe Greer. Honestly, Joe, he's a really horrible actor. I mean, a really horrible actor. And yeah, considering that the other actors I mean, yeah, I know he's an action star. I agree with you. He's totally an action star. And that's where his strength lies. But I mean, even Mark Dacascos can act. Everyone else is a competent actor in this. Not great actors by any stretch of the mean. They're competent actors, but he is a horrible actor. I'm going to say this right now. He's a great action star, but there are some scenes that he's delivering where he's supposed to give some kind of emotion, and it's just coming off as wooden. It's like, yes, I know, yeah. It's almost like, yeah, Sly actually was good to begin with. He came out as a director and an actor, and so he was good. Arnold, yes, Arnold had to grow into things. Arnold owes a lot to John Millis. I mean, a lot. And yes, Sly was an Oscar winner. I mean, out the gate, right there. So, well, not out the gate. His first movie was technically a porno, but really his second movie, his feature film, I guess you could say, was Paradise Alley. Was that right? Yes, I think it was Paradise Alley, then Rocky. So I actually saw Paradise Alley in the movie theater when I was a wee lad. So, yeah. I didn't realize Arnold's big moneymaker was twins. Yeah. Yeah. They renamed that porno the Italian Stallion afterwards, Morks. It was called something else. I don't remember what it was offhand. But yeah, they renamed it because he was in it. And I think he's a pizza boy that delivers a pizza and then walks away. So there's no nudity or anything like that. For those of you who are looking for it. Whatever. But anyway, going back to the series here. Yeah, so at one point, Jing Jing tells Kai that if the Wu ever makes it to the path, even for a second, because the path is supposed to be like the time stream as well, even though she was saying initially that the path is supposed to be the place between earth and heaven, is what it is. It's the place that has no time. And that's the reason why he can train there. And it's only a moment of his time on Earth. But he could be there for years and only a moment will pass on Earth because it has no time. But then she says, if McCullough makes it there, he can basically disrupt the space-time continuum and destroy the Earth. So again, there's stuff that is not really fleshed out in this storyline, because which one is it? Is it the space-time continuum? Is it the place between Earth and heaven? I don't know. So yeah, I was like, all right, okay, we can just leave it at that. I suspend disbelief at this point. So McCullough, of course, has Jenny, and he's got Catherine as well. Christine, excuse me. Catherine's her real name. And Tommy is also has been stabbed, and that's the really bad thing too, is that he keeps dying or coming near death, and McCullough will heal him just enough to bring him back from death. And he's basically using all three of them for Kai to bring the Wu to him. Basically, the Earth Wu now at this point. And McCullough is also trying to set something up. He has found this piece. Well, actually, I should say the Water Wu, Summer Glau's character, has actually found a piece of this stone. Miss Jones is her name. And he goes out to the forest, which happens to be nearby San Francisco, strangely enough. and there's these ruins that are set in a circle, and he puts it down there and they glow. And they, of course, meet in that circle. And of course, Uncle Six isn't there. Uncle Six has gone to go and get his army together, and he runs afoul of Zan. Zan, who has now risen to power. She is taking over the gang and the Tong. She's basically Tong now at this point. And she basically shoots Uncle Six in the leg and has him prisoner at this point. So she ends up killing Uncle Six. She shoots him in the head on FaceTime with Kai, and Kai wants to kill her. So again, speaking of acting, Kai sees Uncle Six dead. They've all gone through this whole range of emotions. Kai and Lu Jin, about wanting to kill Kai at one point, wanting to kill Uncle Six at one point. And then they come around to know Uncle Six is their friend and all this. And then he dies. And now they want to kill Zan because Zan killed Uncle Six. You following me still on this? Yeah. It kind of goes all over the place on that. Oh, Penn looked up some porn. The Party at Kitty and Studs. That's what it was. Thank you, Penn Farm Girl. Yeah, I remember it was something else altogether. So yeah, he did bring a knife to a gunfight. When Uncle Six went there, he wanted to fight by hand, and she pulls out a gun, just shoots him in the leg, and then she shoots him in the head later on, FaceTiming with Kai. And at that point, Kai wants to kill her, and he's trying to emote this, and it doesn't come off all that well. And I kind of winced actually when that happened. But anyway, Kai and Lu Jin go out to the forest with the piece of the Wu, the Earth Wu. And of course, he makes McCullough heal Tommy. Tommy gets healed. And then instead of giving him the Earth Wu, he gives to Tommy. He actually forces it into Tommy's hands. Tommy becomes the Earth Wu, which activates the stones, because they're all standing in the middle of the stones, which is a gateway to the path. Follow me on this one? Yeah. In the meantime, Christine has the metal Wu inside of her still. He comes out in the path because they've all been separated, and all the Wus come out of them and form. Even the Wu assassin, whatever he had in him, that comes out too. The tortoise shell ends up becoming one big tortoise shell, and there's a gateway with a swirling mystical swirl that's going on, and Kai brings the tortoise shell towards it, and it floats out of his hands and goes to heaven supposedly, and now it's complete. He's actually finished all of this. He tells the others to first of all, they have to get past the henchmen, and McCullough in the meantime has gone through the gate to go back in time to his wife and child, because that's what he's been trying to do. Why a tortoise shell, Pen Farm Girl? I have no idea, because that's what it originally was made from. That was what the magic. Yeah, they didn't really say why. They just said it was a tortoise shell. That's what the spells were written on, I guess. So I was like, all right, sure, that makes sense. So again, there's a lot of suspension of disbelief on some of this stuff. So they end up kicking, of course, the henchman's ass, as McCullough has gone through the gate and gone to the shaft of light and gone back in time to where his family is. And the family's freaking out because he's dressed in modern day clothing, short hair, and he's different. Of course, he's been alive for 500 years. So of course he's different than what he was then. And they're freaking out. Kai, in the meantime, and his group end up fighting off everybody. Christine actually ends up killing the metal Wu, the guy who was the metal Wu, and she kills him off. And Miss Jones, Summer Glau's character, had a relationship with him, and so she's mourning over him. And Kai tells his group of people to go back through the gate and go back to Earth while he takes care of McCullough. And supposedly he goes back in time to the 1500s where McCullough is, kills McCullough, and then he comes back to the present. They never really say that. They just kind of say it's 6 weeks later. And Lu Jin has slips Kai a photo of Zan, saying, she's meeting with these higher ups in the Tong and everything. And yeah, it's just, so the end actually kind of felt a little bit like Big Trouble in Little China. It was kind of a weird thing. Because as it's ending and we're seeing all of them trying to come to grips with everything that's happened. So Lu Jin is still doing his card thief thing. Tommy and Jenny. Tommy has taken over the restaurant. He's been clean for 6 weeks. He is taking over the restaurant while Jenny is going to go and do her MBA. She actually has an MBA, and she is going to do something else because she never wanted to be in the family restaurant to begin with. And Kai, of course, is working at the restaurant. Is what's going on. So at the very end, what ends up happening, there looks like an earthquake kind of thing. And Kai is by himself at the table, and who shows up but Jing Jing. Jing Jing, who has disappeared supposedly because he had gone far enough on the path so that Jing Jing was never going to talk to him again, essentially. And she says the Wu assassin is needed again. We don't say why. It's just that the Wu assassin is needed again. You're coming with us, kind of thing. And that's where we leave off on the series. Was it the best of series? No. Did it have some really kick-ass fight sequences? Yes. It also had some good stuff. I liked Jenny. Jenny and Tommy are the best characters. They're the most fleshed out characters and the most real characters in this entire group. I really didn't like Iko Uwas as Kai. He's a great action star, but you can tell they minimized how much speaking time they give to him only when they begrudgingly had to. In killing off Uncle Six, it's kind of funny because Lu Jin goes out in the alleyway near the end there to have a smoke, and there's some graffiti on the wall that says Uncle Six lives. So obviously they're going to bring Byron Man back as Uncle Six. He is not dead. He's going to be coming back resurrected somehow because he needs to take, revenge on what's going on. He's going to come back evil as well because he's a good evil bad. He's a good villain. He really is a good villain. Yeah. Pen Farm Girl, the reaction of the wife and the son was reasonable, but he was willing to screw the world for them, and it was nothing. It was for nothing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This whole series is modern day Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, it is, Joe. It really is a Big Trouble in Little China with a little bit of Back to the Future thrown in. Exactly, Joker the Third. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's some stuff that just needs to be. Again, you're writing when you're writing some stuff like this. Don't leave the audience having to question as to what the fuck is going on. Sure, we will let some stuff slide, but when you have someone back in the 1500s and then they come back to the present with obviously no way of portaling back in because there was no portal, man. He was done. He was stuck there, supposedly, unless he found some mystic way of coming back. He didn't have the Wu assassins in him. He wasn't able to go back to the path to ask for help or anything like that. He was basically stuck because it was a one-way ticket from what it looked like. I didn't see a bright light or anything like that on that end of it. So yeah, they just kind of glossed over that one and timey-wimey stuff, and he's done. He's back. So not perfect, but stay for the action scenes. The action scenes are what kill it. There's scenes between Jenny and Zan, the fight scenes, the fight scene in the kitchen. Oh my God, that's fucking awesome. The fight scene in the kitchen is worth the price of admission alone. The beginning fight scene as well, through the stairwell and stuff like that is awesome. Even the fight scene with Jenny and Zan later on at the fight club when they're doing the fight club stuff is brutal, absolutely brutal. and well worth the price of admission on this. So if you're a martial arts fan, definitely this is a great, great show. Yeah, they need to hire some new writers, is what they need to do in the writing pool, is what they need to do. It's not hiring a new showrunner. The showrunner's fine. It's just they need somebody to flesh out the story a little bit more. Um, Plug those holes a bit, that are here and there. And answer some questions like, is he just the Wu assassin? Or are they all the Wu assassins? Or is it the monks that are the Wu assassins? And again, that's just one of those little things that sticks in my craw as I'm watching it. Yes, and it is better than both seasons of Iron Fist. I agree with you, Joker the Third. Yeah, they are better than both seasons. What's a craw? A craw is kind of like what a crab has instead of a mouth. It's called a craw, Sasha. That's usually where food gets stuck, is in the craw. Hi. I wonder if Fanobich ever got around to watching any of it. I don't think so, Pen. Yeah, I don't think they did. I love Misty Knight. Misty Knight was the best thing about Iron Fist, quite honestly. And of course, having Luke Cage come in. I'm telling you, season 2, no, excuse me, Luke Cage season 2, episode 10, I believe it was, when Luke and Danny get together. That is the best episode out of all those series, out of four seasons. That is the best episode right there. And then also the episode with Colleen and Misty, going through and fighting the guys in the bar and then going after the sisters, the daughters of the dragon and stuff like that. That's their best episode as well. And that is in season 2. So yeah, those are the best. And it's kind of sad that they had to go through, you go through 4 seasons of 2 different shows, and those are the best episodes that are pure comic book. I mean, and indicative of the characters. I know I'm getting off topic here off of Wu Assassins, but martial arts, we are there. No, we didn't scare her off, Pen. She's busy. She's a school person, so she's off studying most of the time. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. Oh man, sorry, Sasha. So yeah, it wasn't the greatest of shows, like I said. Yeah. But so what everyone else think of it? So if I'm going to give it a rating out of 10, let's see here. I'm going to go with, I'll say a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. And that's mainly because of, hey, Ejar. And that's mainly because of the martial arts. The martial arts kicks ass in this. And I didn't know that Catherine Winnick actually knew martial arts. So that was actually pretty damn good. Did you see Mr. Robot's Christmas trailer? I didn't, Joe Greer, but I did see Gennady Tartakovsky's Primal trailer, which is awesome. Technically, a craw is a pouch in a chicken. Throats filled. There we go. Thanks, Pen Farm Girl. I don't mind being corrected, quite honestly. I will throw shit out there that sounds right, and just roll with it sometimes. Because that's how I do it. Yeah. So, Joe Greer, if you go to my Facebook page, if you have Facebook, I have all those trailers up on the Suspended Fanimation Facebook page. Plug, 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 plug. And Winnick, how dare you talk about my future ex-wife that way? Yeah, Ejar. Like I said, I really did not expect her to that she knew martial arts. I really didn't know that. And was she as good as the rest of them? No, but she was still capable. Definitely. But plug, yes, sometimes. And she looked good. Yeah, she did look good. It's kind of funny. You're right, Penn. Looking at Vikings, she ends up looking a lot younger here than she did on Vikings. Like at least almost 5 years younger, which was kind of weird. I don't know if it was a nose ring or what, but there we go. Uh yeah. And honestly, Lee Jun Lee as Jenny knocks it out of the park. Like I said, my two favorite characters, Jenny and Tommy. Lawrence Cow, awesome job. you know, and it's kind of funny. I like him when he ends up on the path and he's trying to fight and he hurts his hand because he's not a fighter. He's never has been. And he gets his ass kicked. And I'm like, yeah, that's, not everyone knows martial arts, man. Not, and that's what I kind of liked about it too, was not everybody in the family fights. His sister did. Yes, his sister is a fighter, but yeah, he got his ass kicked. He got his ass handed to him and had to be saved. The notification woke you up. I sent that notification out about an hour ago. God. And yes, she is a very decent actress too. I agree with you, Penn. And also Zan. I didn't realize Juju Chan, who plays Zan Hui, uh, is a Chinese a pop star. She's actually a singer and sometimes actress. So she's more of a pop star than she is the actress. But she was actually really good. And I want to see more of her as a villain, especially when she is in the police elevator and she goes through the scanner. She goes through the metal detector, and they scan her shoes because her shoes actually have these metal studs on them. And so she goes in, and when she's in the elevator going up, she pulls the back of her heels off. She pulls off these little covers, if you will. And basically, she pulls the sheaths off the back of her shoes, the heels of her shoes, and literally has stiletto knives in the back of them, and is using those. She kicks one guy in the eye, and then takes his gun and starts shooting through the police station. I'm like, holy fuck, man. Yeah, it's a joke, Joe. God, I throw these things out there every now and then to see who in the hell's listening. So, oh my God. See, Sasha got it. She was laughing. She actually laughed about that when I said it. So there always has to be a run to the litter. And the thing was, Tommy was actually older than his sister. So yeah, the show definitely has its moments. None of them with Kai, I'm sorry to say. Except when he's fighting. And that's the other thing. Kai goes from pacifist, I'm not going to, well, not pacifist, I should say. I'm not going to kill anybody, to he racks up a double digit body count within a couple of hours after killing his first guy. Because when they go, to meet at, they go to free them, Jenny and Tommy, over at the mill or something like that. And I swear he kills like about 8 guys in that place just alone. Eco is miscast and the night comes for us as a baddie. Is this the Mindhunter review? No, Sasha, the Mindhunter review will be never. This is Wu Assassins. Story and some of the acting was a little weak. I agree with you, Stanley Tweedle. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. That's why I say it's a 7.5 out of 10 for me. And it's mainly it stands on the martial arts. I needed a little bit more Mark Dacascos in there too. Dacascos, yes, there we go. And I thought it was fine. I mean, he needed to be in it a little bit more. If he had switched places with Jing Jing, I think, with the amount of things. Although I did like Jing Jing somewhat. She was a little bit rough around the edges, acting wise as well. But I would have liked him more in that role than her. Yeah, but they were Nameless Thug 1 through 10. So, well, yeah, they were the expendable crew members. Exactly, Ejar. I know. The expendable thugs. Yeah. I like Mark. I mean, I really do. He's a good actor. He's a great martial artist too. And I mean, there's a reason why he was on Iron Chef for so long as the chairman, and didn't have to use his martial arts. He just had to overact, which he can do. And I thought that was pretty damn funny that he had worked it, into that. How did you like the switchblade lightsaber? Yeah, that was kind of stupid, but I'll talk about that on Saturday, Stanley. I got some stuff to say about that one on Saturday. Trust me. I agree with you, Pen Farm Girl. Yes, I liked him as the Crow too. Because when I saw the TV series, I was skeptical when it first came out, and I was like, yeah. And then he started acting in this, and I was like, okay, he's actually pretty damn good. Yeah. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things on SBO. Yes. I don't talk about it now because I don't want to ruin it, and I got to ruminate over some stuff too. I got to let the I've got to let the juices flow on that one and simmer for a little bit, marinate on it. Hey, Fan on Rough. All right. Hey, did you get the poster? Did it arrive for you? I just wanted to make sure that I did. The Evil Force dream clip that will never make it to the final cut. Cool. It made it to you. Thank you, Fan on Rough. Yeah, I'm glad you got the poster, quite honestly. And Joe, I know, got the bag as well, correct? So that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you guys got your gifts there. Got your winnings. So yeah, and like I said, it's actually a pretty good it's a heavy duty stock card poster too, which is nice. It's suitable for framing. No problem, Fan on Rough. I'm glad you stopped by and let me know. I was kind of worried about it. I was actually going to go through the tracking number and make sure that it got there. So I hadn't heard anything, and I knew it was supposed to arrive like last week. So I just wanted to make sure everything was good. Exactly. Like, share, and subscribe. So, hey, you're welcome, Joe. Glad you like the bag too. So that's what I'm doing, giving some stuff out. Yeah, I can imagine. It's busy here too. Tracking number, yes. Tracking number on the packages. When I shipped them out, they had tracking numbers on them, so I knew where they were going, and if they got there, if they got lost. Sometimes you never know. Stuff gets lost in the mail. Hell, I've had 2 packages from Amazon that I've been trying to get from work, and both supposedly got lost in the mail. So I had to get refunds from them, and now I'm pretty much done ordering those things. Just going to go to a brick and mortar store and pick stuff up. You're playing a gig tonight. Nice. Shh, Pen Farm Girl, don't say anything. And Joe, put some pants on, man. Not Joe Greer, but Joe. Damn cap lock again. Amazo is awesome. Amazo, Amazon, yes, is awesome on refunds. Yeah. Oh, so what did everyone else think of this series? Did you guys like it? Did you say it was okay? Did you not like it? What's going on? Yes, I am going to be doing Dark Crystal. That is going to be next week, and Carnival Row as well. Yes, and I just found out that Mr. Robot has new episodes on October 6th for the final season. So guess what's getting reviewed October 6th? That's right. It's Mr. Robot. I'm also probably going to review Gennady Tartakovsky's Primal as well on Adult Swim because that looks fucking amazing. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, go and watch the trailer because that's on October 7th is when that comes out. I'm not going to do it live because it actually comes out. I'm not going to do it right after the episode airs. I will probably do it the next day because it airs at midnight. Yeah, it's on the Cartoon Channel. That's right, Cartoon Network. Joe Greer. Yeah, same guy who did Samurai Jack, Dexter's Laboratory. He's also done the Hotel Transylvania series, all that stuff. He did the animation for this, and it's really stunning, and it's gory as well. You're just like saying Gennady Tartakovsky's name, so you sound fancy. No, he's actually a really talented animator. This guy has started. He was the guy who did the very first Clone Wars, the very first animated Clone Wars when the movies, the prequels were still out. He did the 15-minute ones, not the full series that Dave Filoni did, but he did the animated, the actual 2D animation ones that were 15 minutes long, and those are mind blowing. They were so much better than the prequels, and I think they total like 3 hours long when they come together. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls. That's right, Samurai Jack. He didn't do Afro Samurai. No, that is actually the guys who did the Boondocks, and I can't remember what their name is. Yeah. Time to binge. Yeah. Oh, you finished Star Wars Renaissance? What'd you think, Joe Greer? Like I said, for me, the last 2 episodes were worth it. Powerpuff Girls, not Powder Puff. Yeah, Dexter's Laboratory. I mean, he's a really good animator. He's a great animator. So he came from Russia, of course, from Moscow, and probably easily the most talented animator I've seen in a long time. Yeah, I mean, just really, really good. And Samurai Jack is still one of my favorite. I would say it's one of my favorite animations in the last 10 years that I've seen. Did you hear season 2's? I already brought that up on one of the SBOs, Joe Greer. And the reason why is because no one cares about that series. Everyone keeps talking about the old Clone Wars, but no one's talking about Star Wars Resistance because no one cares about it, and rightfully so. I mean, it's not good. It didn't really catch on until, like I said, the last 2 episodes. If they had done that mid-season and had gone that far and then kind of picked up from there, I think you would have heard a lot more buzz about it. No. Type O person. I'm not a type O person. I'm glad Scott Lawrence got work as a voice actor as Jaeger. I don't know who that is. Sorry, Joker. I might, but yeah. Oh, you are a type O, huh? I know who to go and get blood from then. Not that it's always good to keep your options open and, know where you can get some stuff. Character actor who was on Jag. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Universal donor, that's it. So before this devolves anymore, yeah, final thoughts on this. Where is it going to go for season 2? Well, we know Uncle Six is coming back. Uncle Six is definitely coming back. Um, we know Ying Ying's coming back because she came back at the end there and told him that he was needed again. But how is this going to be possible if all the pieces of the tortoise shell supposedly went to heaven? And that's the other thing too. Why do the pieces of the tortoise shell need to go to heaven? That was never really explained. That was never explained at all about why those pieces of the tortoise shell needed to go to heaven. They just said that you needed to collect all of them, because you got to collect them all, and something was going to happen. That would be the end of it. They Ying Ying really never said anything about why they needed to be collected, other than they shouldn't be going out into the world. Yeah, again, you need to tighten up your story, your linchpin of about why everything is happening. Tie it all together. And again, tighten up that writer's room. Get some writers in there that can, add some connective tissue to the story a bit more. Yeah, exactly. Pen Farm Girl, it needs a clearer and a cleaner mythology. Oh, yeah, it really does. Things need to make a little bit of sense. Not a lot, just a little. Yeah. Netflix does have a lot of content, but they're going to be losing out quite a bit when Disney Plus comes out. Disney Plus is. I thought you would like that one, Sasha. I didn't comment on it. I figured I would let you go with that one. Yeah, the content, they're going to be losing a lot of subscribers. Let's just say once Disney Plus goes online in November, you're going to see that plummet. Although I don't know. Yeah. With what Disney Plus is offering. So what Disney Plus is offering right now, if you become a D23 member, which is free, you can sign up for 3 years of Disney Plus at $140.97. I happen to know what it was because it was a weird number for 3 years worth of service. That is, you basically get 2 years of service and you get the third year for free. So that actually isn't bad. That's like $4 a month is what that comes out to. That's pretty damn good, and it's 4K content without commercials. And their Disney Plus's interface, while being sparse looking, is actually a lot better than Netflix's. I hope the original Pete, you mean Pete's Dragon, Joe Greer? I asked a bunch of normies, no interest in Disney Plus. Stanley, there's a lot of Disney people that are out there that don't care about Marvel or anything like that, but are into the Disney stuff that are really into it. There is a group of, it's a large group of Disney heads that love anything Disney. And there's a lot more of them out there than you think there are. No, Disney's not paying me for the plug. You think they would be, but I'm actually going to sign up for it just because it's cheap, quite honestly, and it's a good deal. Yeah, I still don't think I want it. I have Netflix, Amazon Prime, DC, and add Hulu Stars, not anymore, and YouTube Red as needed. I still haven't done YouTube TV, I think is what it's called now. Even though I want to finish off the second season of Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, excuse me. Yeah. Yes, the streaming wars began. I announced that, if I remember correctly, one of my Saturday morning blast offs, I titled "The Streaming Wars Begun." They have the mouse. Uh-huh. You're gonna be worshiping the mouse. The mouse is gonna be your god. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Everyone bow to the mouse, you damn motherfucker. And now I'm going to get sued by Disney for doing a goofy voice. There you go. And that's all you're going to hear from me. I'm never going to do that again. I use it from YouTube Music and no commercials. Yes, that was kind of goofy-ish, Sasha. That was evil Goofy. That was his, his evil twin from an alternate universe. Well, gosh. Yeah, I got Goofy as a character, and I don't know how to tell my parents. Sorry, I was watching Swingers recently, and yeah, that whole thing with, yeah, I got the Goofy part, but I don't know how to tell my parents. Man, Goofy's a good gig. You should be proud of that. I didn't get the pilot though, and I can never tell them. Well, it's been out for a month now, right? They should know by now. But you got Goofy, so that's always a good backup. Sorry. It's a good movie, Swingers. It's actually a very good movie. And a lot of firsts for so many people in that movie that went on to much better things. She called him back in the end. You used to work at Swingers? I don't even want to know what that is, Sasha. Yeah. Where am I at here? I should probably get going. I was only I'm gonna keep this to about an hour on this. It does sound very, very wrong. That's why, yeah, I haven't seen Happy Time Murders. Oh, restaurant in LA where the scene of Swingers was filmed. So, fun fact, Swingers, a lot of those scenes in the clubs and the restaurants and stuff like that were guerrilla filmed. Doug Lehman and John Favreau did not get permits like they were supposed to. So they filmed a lot of stuff without any permits. And especially in the club, when you see them walking through the bar and everyone's kind of looking at the camera, and they've got pissed off faces, that's because they weren't supposed to be there. That's one of my favorite things is if you watch people in the crowd in some of the scenes and they're looking directly at the camera, and they got this pissed off face, what the fuck? And that's because, yeah, they are filming without a permit. And yeah, that's one of my favorite things about that movie. And it's hard to believe. I mean, Doug Lehman goes off and films Go as his second movie, his sophomore movie, which is just as good but underrated. And then Bourne, the Bourne movie, the very first Bourne movie. And he does awesome car chase scenes. Awesome car chase scenes. Yeah. Mostly the chubby lady was bad in Happy Time. She keeps playing the same character all the time, though. Yes, Go has an excellent soundtrack. It really does. Yeah. It's got some good stuff in it too. I still like the line, "I will have your most expensive bottle of champagne." That is one of my favorite lines. I actually use that at Comic-Con every now and then. I walked up to one of the cashiers and I go, "I will have your most expensive bottle of Coca-Cola," because they're really fucking expensive there. And the one behind the counter just started busting up laughing because she wasn't expecting it. And honestly, people are just grouchy when they come up to these people. And I was kind of very pleasant in the way I said it. And she just started laughing and kind of I think it kind of broke her for a second. So I like doing that every now and then. No touching. No touching? Oh, that's right. The no touching rule. Get your hands. Keep hands. I'm going off on a different tangent now. Yeah. With that said, if you like what you see here, and you like the rambling that goes off into different tangents, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also hit the follow button down there, the little bell. And that will tell you when I'm going to be on live again next. Maybe you got a 50-50 chance of it actually doing that. It might wake you up like it did for Stanley when the notification goes off. You can also go to suspendedfanimation.com, check the schedule there. And it's also on my Facebook page. If you have Facebook, that's also where I post all my articles. Not articles, I should say. I repost stuff that I find and comment about them. So that I use for the Saturday morning blast off. That's pretty much where I get all my stuff and post it there so I can go back and that's my notes essentially. I'm also on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. And I'm on Patreon, but I don't have any tiers as of yet. Your phone died. Oh no. Well, I'm getting ready to check out anyway, Sasha. So yeah, one day there will be. Once I, like I said, get a little bit more time on my hands. We'll see. We'll see what the 3-day weekend brings. Yeah. Criticism, update your schedule earlier. Well, I let it go out until Sunday and then I updated on Monday. I update it Monday morning is what I do, Stanley. Sometimes I miss it like I did last week. Last week I didn't do it until Tuesday because I'm a horrible person and I completely forgot about it. I got busy at work is what happened. Not that I update anything at work because I'm not supposed to, And with that said, 3-day weekend is supposed to be bringing a hurricane. Wow. Hell no. What, Sasha? Don't judge. Don't judge, Sasha. That's not cool. We don't judge here much. You've never seen me on Facebook at work, so because you're usually on the other end. With that said, category 3. Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's supposed to be heading towards Florida. It's going to turn to Twister Anti-M. Yeah, be safe out there. Oh, man. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Also, thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about joining up, you're going to see a video pop up here. It's going to take a video from my vast video library based on the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching. It's going to pluck a video that's most similar to it out of my library and throw it up there. Up here is going to be a last night's episode of what day am I on? Oh, last night's episode of The Boys. There we go. I'm gonna say Preacher for a second. Like, damn, it's not Monday, it's Wednesday. Ugh. Yeah. Yep. You wouldn't have watched this one. Yeah. I'm glad, Penn. Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of thank me and then also damn me at the same time because they're watching more stuff because of me. But then they're also liking the stuff that I have steered them towards. And I'm glad I'm steering you guys towards some stuff that you guys like. Like I said, if I like it, I'm going to cover it. If I don't like it, I'm going to not cover it just because I don't want to hate watch this stuff. It's not worth it for me to spew out, bad stuff about things that are out there. People put a lot of hard work into what they're doing on TV, films, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, yes, it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't grab me, and sometimes it's really poorly done as well. But that still doesn't diminish that people actually do a lot of hard work for these things. And that's why I'm not going to diminish that by going online, being the schmo that I am, and just go, that sucks. Because quite honestly, you get enough of that on YouTube as it is. Then my show gets canceled. Yeah, exactly, Joe. That's it. So something I really love, I go on, line, I cover it, I review it, recap it, and then it gets canceled. And sometimes it gets canceled after the first episode. Swamp Thing. Yeah. And it's not my fault, man. I was on the fence about Krypton. It was okay, but I didn't love it. That was the whole thing. I liked it. I was in like with it, is what it was. And that got canceled. That was not my fault on that one. That was all sci-fi, because sci-fi cancels shit at the drop of a hat anyway. When Dennis says something sucks, it's usually him saying a cancellation sucked. No, The Gifted actually earned its cancellation. The Gifted totally earned its cancellation, because that one sucked big time. How that got a second season, I don't know. I know it's always my fault, Stanley. It really is. That's right. I am too powerful. I don't know my own power. Do a Harry Potter Bachelor Mindhunter review? No. None of those things interest me, Sasha. I'm sorry. I really, yeah. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't. I know those are all things that are in your wheelhouse. You'll do it. What I can do is I can set up the camera for you, and we'll set up your own channel, and we'll do it that way. We'll set up a channel for you, Sasha, and you can do one of those. Unfortunately, I don't think that would actually, yeah. I still think season 1 of Krypton didn't entice enough people to return for season 2. Yeah, Penn. So what happened with Krypton was they started off with 1.6 million viewers for the first season, and the second season had dropped to 400,000 viewers. Yeah. So when you go from 1.6 million to 400,000 viewers, and you were steadily declining every week, that's the reason why they canceled it. I'm not being rude, Sasha. It's just not what my channel's about. I'm sorry. I mean, Mr. Robot's pushing it right now. I mean, for me reviewing Mr. Robot, that's actually pushing it for the boundaries of my channel. So you're going to go episode by episode of Mindhunter, Sasha? Is that what you're going to do? And are you going to do a detailed review of Mindhunter? I'm being nice. I'm just asking. I'm asking a question. Yeah. Exactly. So before things get even weirder than they already are, I'm going to get going here. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you, everybody who's watching. I will see you on Friday for the season finale of The Boys. I believe it was LLC. There we go. LC 3566. The Boys finale is awesome. Yes, it is LC 3566. And also, that's going to be the very last episode where you're going to comment on and win the foam finger. That's right, the foam finger, or the coin, or the wristband. That's going to be on Friday. So, and then of course Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. And Sunday is Preacher. Monday is off because it is Labor Day. Tuesday is going to be the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. Is that right? Yes. And Wednesday, of course, is Carnival Row. There we go. And Friday, next Friday of next week, is Titans Season 2 is when we hit all of that. Titans Season 2, where you're going to get even more dick jokes. Yes. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the dick jokes, to tell you the truth, because there's lots of new stuff next week. There is lots of new stuff next week. We'll see how Carnival Row goes, because I've heard bad things about it. I've heard nothing but good things about the Dark Crystal, so we'll see how that goes too. I don't know because I don't get stuff early in advance. But Titans, yes, I'm looking forward to the dick jokes. Quite honestly, they write themselves. I really, you know, I really want to say that they're hard to come by. See what I mean? They just write themselves these jokes. Uh, but no, they make their own dick jokes within the episodes themselves. And then I just have to go with them. And don't go soft on your reviews. Let's see how Dick performs. Yes, exactly. Uh, uh, we'll see how long you know these dick jokes will ride. Yes, bet you can't keep that up. Uh-huh. Yeah. Movie Fanobi, hey, you're still alive and Sasha is here. What's the world coming to? We went off on a different kind of whole bunch of different kind of tangents, Movie Fanobi. You would be proud. It went very, very wrong tonight. So it did. Just finished watching Heat. VP. Oh, the Burt Reynolds Clint Eastwood movie Heat, or are you talking about the Robert De Niro uh, and what's his face? Ooh-ah. Heat, the Michael Mann version of Heat. There we go. Yeah, that's my goal, to take you off in different directions. That's why I ignore you sometimes, Sasha. If you haven't noticed, Al Pacino. Thank you, Stanley. I knew what his name was, damn it. But yeah, it's been a long week. It really has. Someone was commenting about me today when I was at work, and I was forgetting things just as we're walking down the hallway, and they're like, "You're really off today," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Yeah, you're kind of burned out." I'm like, "Yeah." So that's what happens. VB is locked up in Movie Fanobi's basement this time around. It's her turn to be locked up in his basement. So that's where she's at. Yeah. Long hard recap. Yeah, Movie Fanobi. We were talking about Titans next week, next Friday, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, and all the dick jokes that are going to be available to us. So, yeah. There's going to be a lot of dick jokes for everybody. They're just going to be slapping you in the face. That's all they're going to be doing. It puts lotion on the leather. It puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the pin again. From the cool movie experience and allergies. Yeah, she told you it was allergies. She didn't like the movie. That's all it was. All right. So let me put a pin in this Minnesota goodbye here and finally get off the air here and let you guys go, because it's late for you guys out in the East Coast as well. So thank you, everybody. I will see you on Friday for the boys, and Saturday for Saturday Morning Blast Off, and Sunday for Preacher, because the dog's licking my leg telling me that it's time for her to go out and go and do potty. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you on Friday. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself trapped in a bad acting. I don't know. I'm just going to leave this one. Good night, everybody. Thanks.